Okay, so this is not a proper review, but I am shooting this, the Mirage. Now, this is such an interesting bow because it's a horse bow, but I use that in like the most vaguest definition of the term. A horse bow is technically any bow that you can shoot from a horse. Some bows are better than others, but you do get larger bows like Japanese archery. In fact, Japanese horseback archery, Japanese bows are huge. This is a short, long bow, kind of. It's got the Devourer limbs. So instead of having that curve like you would normally see on the Thorn, it is very, very different, but it's got the same connection as the Devourer Mark II, but with no shelf. So the arrows rest on hand and you can shoot off the thumb with a thumb release with Saracen. And I just want to get the first few arrows my live reaction. So, starting with the Mandarin Duck carbon. Ooh. Okay, there is a sound there. More traditional wooden arrow. Let's see if that makes any difference. Let's try the thicker. This one again. Okay, so excuse the mess, but I'm not shooting too far. So I'm back here. Obviously the target has moved a little bit with the arrows. So this made quite an uncomfortable sound. Now it could be because it's carbon, it could be because it's lighter, even though it is weighed for 30 pounds, because that's what I shoot. This arrow is back from when I used to shoot 45s to 50s, and it wasn't a massively pleasant sound, but it was something that was much better than the carbon. This one, my heavier war arrow style arrow, has given a much nicer sound, which is interesting. Anyway, so this is very interesting because the arrows reacted very differently, and like I sort of expected them, like arrows do anyway. It's why shooting from different batches, different quivers is not always going to be the greatest of ideas, but the bow has something. It has something. Now, because the limbs are flat bow limbs or longbow limbs or hybrid of the two rather than your typical horse bow limbs, it does mean that the attitude, the character of this bow is very, very different. Effectively, what Mandarin Duck have done is just take the Devourer Mark II, chop it down in size a bit, and remove the shelf so that you can shoot off your hand and you can do your thumb releases or Saracen or your typical Mediterranean stuff like that. I fully accept, and I hold my hands up to this, I have an unapologetic bias towards horsebows. I love horsebows. I just absolutely adore them. I think they're beautifully fun. I think they're fantastic. I think they can be really serious or really enjoyable. And I love the fact that horsebows, you can just give a bow to someone and not tell them how to shoot, see how they would react naturally, and you build off of what the person does naturally. I love that. Genuinely love that. But this bow is a different breed. Now, at the moment, at time of recording this, these are my first impressions. I've shot a handful of arrows. I've shot less than 10 arrows altogether. and I'm really interested in getting feedback in what some of the other guys who have had their hands on this bow are saying. Um, I think I really like it. I do. I think I really like it. I think it's such a beautiful design. Yes, it's very different when you shoot it. It's not like shooting the Devourer. It's not like shooting the Thorn. It is its own beast, based on roughly on a design of the Devourer. But it is different. It is very different. And I think I like it. Now look, bow preference is a very personal thing. For me, this bow is really nice. I really like it. But I am going to be speaking with someone very soon. I think he has a very different take on the bow. And I do want to get different people's feedback. If nothing else, I think this is really good for Mandarin Duck, the fact that we're now looking at horse bows. This is something I've wanted the company to produce more of for a long time now, because I do love them so much. But obviously shipping outside of China is very difficult because of costs. We cover all the costs, but it is still, you know, a cost that we have to cover there. But yeah, that's it. So very, very early impressions of this bow. I like it. I do. I like it a lot.